Hi and welcome to Oracle Insight, everyone. Thanks for being here with me today. A big hello to those of you who are returning and also to those of you who are new to the channel. Today's reading is a pick a card reading. So each pile will deal with two themes. The first being career and creative project, and the second theme of personal relationships. So now you take your time to feel into which of these options, 1, 2, or 3, you are feeling the most drawn to. Pause if you need to. The timestamps for each will be in the description, so skip straight through to your timestamp and I'll be there waiting to start your reading. Hello and welcome to those of you who selected group number 1. Career and creative project theme is dealt with on the left here, and then the personal relationships we'll deal with on the right. Now let's go ahead and turn these cards over to give us an indication of your challenges. Now this is Leo I Will in planning and action. And this is what's supporting you. You've got North Node, life's purpose, and you've got loss in reverse. Okay, and then we'll turn some tarot cards over. Queen of Swords, Four of Swords, and then you have Nine of Pentacles. I'm seeing here in terms of your supportive energies, you've got North Node, life's purpose, and you've got this lost card in reverse. Now I like that. That's about an opportunity that you may have had previously that didn't quite work out for you, whether that's like a role that you applied for that you didn't get, or a project that you wanted to launch that it didn't quite work out the way you'd wanted to. This is indicating that there's an opportunity that's going to come back around for you. And given that the life's purpose and North Node is here, this is the time where it's going to work out, and it's the time that it's actually the right time for you to proceed with it, and it's going to take you along where you need to go. So that's really, really encouraging and wonderful. Now, planning and action in Leo I Will. This is about you recognizing that there are some limitations to what it is that you can do, and this is encouraging you to look outside yourself in terms of actions and things that need to be done. The planning and action here, there could be, for instance, if you've got contracts to be written up, you're not going to do that yourself unless you are a lawyer. But even then, this is probably, way out of focus there. This is probably letting you know that even if you are capable of doing it yourself, there are certain things within the situation that you're going to need an alternative viewpoint. Somebody else is going to be able to offer you a better perspective, or there's something in here that you won't be able to complete or identify by yourself, and you'll need outside counsel on it. Okay, so that's what's showing up there. But you've got Queen of Swords, you've got Four of Swords, and you've got the Nine of Pentacles. So ultimately we're looking at your independence here. Whatever it is that you are moving towards, it is serving you in terms of your ability to act and move forward as an individual, if that's what you choose to do. It points to having enough resources to support yourself, as well as potentially assisting others, if that's what you choose to do. Now, I think that the Queen of Swords here is really about recognizing that you are in the know on a lot of things. But when I'm looking at the Leo I Will and the planning and action, there's certain components within whatever it is that you're dealing with that you really do need to be honest and truthful with yourself about it, and just relinquish the reins somewhat if you need to, in order to allow that to happen. But look, if that's in doubt, then just sleep on it for a bit. This is indicating that you've got time to make a decision, so you don't need to rush into it. And maybe then, if you have allowed yourself some space, then you might be in a better frame of mind to make that right and clear choice about how you proceed with this planning and action Okay, great. And then so let's turn over the wisdom of the oracle, serendipity. This is parting guidance as you move forward with this career and creative project situation. And you've got enchanted, fern, grotto, and refuge. So the serendipity, this is really talking to this lost card in reverse coming back around for you, and the life's purpose. This is things lining up and being in alignment now for you to proceed forward on your path with, whereas before it just wasn't the right time for you in regards to the second chance of this opportunity coming around to you. And then you've got the enchanted fern and grotto and refuge. So I'm being drawn to the Four of Swords with this, and about how you're needing to step back a bit. When I said sleep on it, give yourself some space to ruminate on it. And it might be that, you take yourself out of your normal environment, and when you, as basic as going for a walk, heading outdoors, that kind of stepping away from the fray of things will give you a clearer perspective. Like here, you can see that orb. Very clear, and she's looking at that orb. That's going to give you a clearer perspective to move forward with this career and creative project situation that you've got going here. So incredibly positive opportunity that you've got going there, Group 1. So congratulations on that. Excellent. All right, so now we're going to move on to personal relationships. So firstly, we'll turn these two cards over. This will be in the challenge position, and that is showing Sagittarius IC and happy success in reverse there. And this is the support position, which is healing, the Chiron healing card, and fragmented energy in reverse. I love the way these two have come out. That's really positive. And so let's turn over these tarot cards. See what we've got going on. Oh, lovely. All right, so in personal relationships, you've certainly felt like you've been going through a very burdensome time. It seems to have been a long road for you, Group 1. And you're seeking that stability, and you're seeking that happiness and that security. And with the Ten of Pentacles here, that does point to absolute security and happiness there. So that is something that is really wonderful. And I'm just absolutely loving the fact that that's shown up there for you. That's really good. So in the challenge position, you've got happy success, this consciousness card in reverse. Now that is talking to a mindset that needs to be adjusted. It's pointing out that there are just repeating loops of negativity, less positive thought patterns that are going around for you right now. And this is really suggesting that this is where the challenge is coming in. And even though this is not discounting the fact that you've been through a lot, because it looks like with the Ten of Wands here, you certainly have been through a lot. But the cards are suggesting and asking you to, one, acknowledge the fact that you've done such a good job to now. All right, so there's no discounting that you've had to put in the hard yards, and you've had to go through a lot in your life and your experiences to date when it comes to relationships. But this is now a time where you want to move out of that. And so these cards are recognizing that, one, you have done the hard yards, but now two, we need to churn that round. We need to be able to acknowledge that that is the case. Pat yourself on the back for having done such a good job to get to this point, but now recognize that in order to move forward, that consciousness, that sense of negativity or just not feeling so good about things, those need to be released, okay? And with the Sagittarius IC, so this is about you broadening your horizons, your perspectives. If you look at things from a different viewpoint, then obviously it's going to give you a different perspective. Maybe if you are looking into things of interest that take you out of that space of holding on to things that have not served you in the past, whether it's, those emotional burdens that you've been holding on to. If you can divert that focus into something that's going to be more enjoyable for you, whether it's some kind of hobby, some kind of interest that you've had that you've not given yourself the opportunity to look further into. These cards are suggesting that this is a good time to do that, because that's going to help you overcome these challenges that you've got going here. But look, this is really good, because these cards with the Chiron healing here and the fragmented energy around you with this happy success in reverse, that is going to dissipate. And in fact, those energies are going to be regathered in a form that's going to be a lot more positive for you, because this is showing that with Chiron healing there, this is showing that you are dealing with those emotions, that you are healing whatever hurts that you've encountered previously in relationships. This is really showing that you've taken on board the lessons that needed to be learned with this, and then you're moving forward now in a more wholesome, more steady, stable, secure way. And I love that you've got the 4 of here, because that is talking to more stability. I don't see this as being stuck in a rut in this situation, because this is what that's pointed to. But this is you understanding that, recognizing that this needs to be released, finding your footing, and then moving forward to abundance and happiness. And so whether that's going to show up in a relationship straight away, I'm not getting that that's going to be the case straight away. I think there's going to be there's definitely a need for some healing first. Once you've found your footing of that, then you're going to be able to move forward to this success that you can see here with the 10 of Pentacles. Now, I was just thinking to myself, where is the Wisdom of the Oracle and the Sacred Forest card that I had? Well, guess where they are. I've already turned them over for the career and creative projects, and that was actually supposed to be for both sides. And I think this is really wonderful, because look here, you've got cards that are very fitting for both piles. And this is about you supporting yourself. This refuge, this self-care is needed and is encouraged in order for you to reconnect all that fragmented energies and allow you to move forward. And the serendipity, now is the time for that. It seems to me that these are very aligned. The energies are aligned now for you to walk forward towards your 10 of Pentacles and success and happiness. Good stuff, Group 1. That's really great for a creative project and for personal relationships. So those are the messages that have come forth for you today. If you found this beneficial, consider liking and subscribing. Take care of yourselves. Be safe and well, and I'll connect with you again in another reading. Hello and welcome to Group 2. So you selected that second option. Now I'm going to turn these cards over. This is the challenge position, and this is decrease, and this is Aries I am. And I should have mentioned, this is dealing with career and creative projects, and that is dealing with personal relationships, okay? So let's continue. Now this is 12th house escape, and that's in the supportive position, and this is letting go, okay, in reverse. All right, and so let's turn over your tarot cards. Let's see what you've got. Oh, okay, wrong way. So you have 10 of Swords here, 2 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. Well, I love that the 9 of Cups is coming out here. All right, so there does seem to be you've gone through a lot in terms of your career. Things haven't quite worked out, that's for certain. You'll be coming up to a decision point here, a choice point where you're going to have to decide on something that is potentially going to lead you to this 9 of Cups and this feeling of being satisfied in whatever it is that you're doing, creative, project-wise or career. So that's great. I've actually just jumped to this because this is what caught my eye. But you've got decrease, the decrease card in reverse as your challenge, and Aries I am. So in terms of being, get this in focus, don't I? In terms of being within the challenge position, this is asking you not to be afraid of moving forward even if the experiences that you've had to date have been less than positive for you, this is about not holding to any kind of belief system that that's just the way it is for you, because it's not. Okay, and with this decrease in reverse, that is once again just asking you not to set your sights low just because things haven't quite worked out for you previously. The decrease card in reverse is actually about things improving. But given that it's in the challenge position, this is asking you not to get stuck into or be burdened down by past experiences where things haven't quite gone your way, because it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the case going forward. All right, and that doesn't look to be the case here. Now you've got in the support position, you've got letting go in reverse, as well as 12th house escape. Okay, so I'm getting a sense here then that the cards are encouraging you to try something new, all right? Maybe moving into an area that you're not as familiar with the 12th house escape here. It's about not having the boundaries upon yourself that you may have had previously, where you may have been focusing on a certain way of getting somewhere. Broadening your horizons, looking past the obvious in terms of the opportunities that might be around you. Yeah, and so not holding on to, as I was saying here, past mistakes, past experiences that have left a sour taste in your mouth, that kind of thing. You're letting go of that and you're moving towards something that's more positive, all right? And so that, and if you can do that, you've got the 9 of Cups here that's waiting for you. So this is a really, really good thing. This is about finding a sense of happiness in what it is that you're doing. It's like this wish fulfillment. It's like you've done a good job and you're really happy with yourself. And so this is where you're heading. But with the 2 of Pentacles here, there is that need to, I'm getting a sense here, just like this one, maybe put down these pentacles in what it is that you've been considering and look for something different and look towards something new. It's about going past the boundaries, not having any boundaries on yourself. With the 10 of Swords here, that does show that you've come to an end of a cycle here, and it's time to start anew. Okay? So if you've come to an end of a cycle, then open your options out and consider what else might be plausible for you that you may not have considered previously. All right? Okay, fantastic. Okay, so group 2, let's move on to personal relationships. We're going to turn these cards over. That's in your challenge position. You've got Neptune, Sacrifice, as well as Dark Thoughts and Consciousness in reverse. And then we have Grand Cross Provoker. This is in the supportive position. Grand Cross Provoker, and you've also got Angels in 4 directions. Okay, and let's have a look at the tarot cards. Let's see what you've got. Okay, well that goes around this way. Okay, and that's this way too. All right, so it looks like with your relationships, there does seem to be some disappointments, some heartaches that you've experienced here with the 3 of Swords showing up. But with the Page of Pentacles, that's really pointing to new opportunities, the growth of something, the development of something. And it could be, the Page of Pentacles could literally refer to an individual that is representing that potential other that you might be moving towards in a relationship. So that's also possible. Somebody with a youthful outlook, that likes doing the practical things in a relationship, that's quite demonstrative in terms of how they share their love and affection. And with the Ace of Swords here, yeah, that's an opportunity to see the right way in things, see with clarity in relationships now. You're not going to be operating from old paradigms. You've got an awareness of what it is that you want, what it is that you deserve. And that's been learnt because you've had some heartache here and some disappointments. So with the challenge position though, you've got Neptune, Sacrifice and Dark Thoughts in reverse. So the Sacrifice. So this is about, I'm getting a sense here that this is about understanding your worth, what it is that you deserve in a relationship. So no more self-sacrificing if that's what you've been doing. All right, because when you do that, then there is a tendency to become resentful. Those resentments can certainly feed into these dark thoughts that we just don't want. But given that this dark thoughts is in reverse, this is a good indication that you're going to come out of that, all right? But it's a challenge. This is the challenging position. So that's certainly something that you have experienced. And especially with the Three of Swords there has been heartaches and disappointments. And so, and to be expected if that has been your experience. But with the Neptune there, this is about making sure that you honor your boundaries. Firstly, establish boundaries, right? In a relationship, it's not all about you giving, okay? It's an equal exchange of energy here. So we need to ensure that when you move on and into another relationship, that you've established those boundaries for yourself. You receive as much as you give to someone else, all right? So this is what we want. Now you've got support with a Grand Cross Provoker. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? And angels in 4 directions. I really see this Grand Cross Provoker as lessons learned. You've experienced relationships that have held a lot of friction, that have been very challenging for you. And this is in a supportive position because now you know where it's at with these kind of relationships and you don't want that anymore. You're being very well guided by Spirit with angels in 4 directions here. Your higher self is coming through for you as well. It's just a matter of trusting in what it is that you deserve, because that's what they're trying to share with you, that you know you're a spark of the divine as well. So you need to make sure that you're cherishing yourself when you move forward in another relationship. Okay, because there's honesty here. There's like this understanding that's on offer for you to claim for yourself that you are worth every bit of joy and love that you give to others. You are just as much as everyone deserves love. You deserve that too. So make sure that you remind yourself of that. Hold yourself to that truth, okay? With the Ace of Swords there. Okay, so lastly, we are going to turn over these Wisdom of the Oracle cards and Sacred Forest cards, and that's going to give you some parting wisdom. Oh, lovely. Look, you've got Poised and you've got Unicorn and Purity. Ah, wow. This is really you being in a good space now to benefit from all the lessons that you've learned, both in career and in personal relationships. It's really put you in a position where you can literally leap off into the big wide world and create something for yourself, because you're well positioned now, because that's what happens when we go through life and we learn things. Do you know, we have that knowledge from which we can move forward and we can use it to our benefit. So super duper. And Purity, this is about cleansing, letting go of things that are not serving you, entering into your next phase, whether it's in relationship or career, and understanding that you can begin anew. You don't need to carry and hold on to things from the past. Those energies are done and dusted, out of the way. We're talking about new life here, new possibilities, and the magic of the new possibilities. So that's for you, Group 2. Perfect. All right then. So Group 2, those are the messages that have come forward for you today. If you found this helpful, consider liking and subscribing. Take care, be safe and well, and I'll look forward to connecting with you again in another reading. Hello and welcome to group number 3. So these are the cards that you have selected. Now we are dealing with 2 themes in this reading. You've got career and creative projects, and on this side you've got personal relationships. So let's start with career and creative projects first. We're going to turn these cards over. Now these are cards in the challenge position. You've got Pluto. I always put it over here, sorry. You've got Pluto and transformation here, as well as present power and consciousness. And then you've got lunar eclipse change, as well as friends and colleagues. And that's in your support position. Now we'll turn over the tarot and see what we have. Oh, look, that's great. So you've got 4 of Wands here. So that looks to be a very positive energy and outcome. So you've got consciousness, present power in reverse here, and Pluto transformation. So there are some big changes going on for you right now, and at the moment you're being challenged to hold your center, hold your ground, and not go back to the past or shooting way too forward into the future. So because of the transformation that you've obviously been going through in your career or creative project, you've found some new truths, you've understood where you're at now, moving forward. There's probably been quite a call to release something. Maybe work-wise, you might be looking for something new. You're finding that wherever you are now in terms of a role, where you've been has not been fulfilling you like you've wanted it to, and you're wanting a new terrain. And that's a wonderful thing, but this is just asking you to make sure that you're grounded in the present. Don't go back and forth in terms of what happened in the past and going too far into the future. It's about taking care of the here and now and making sure you put things in place in order for you to be supported when you move forward. Okay, and you've got people here, friends and colleagues in the support position, as well as lunar eclipse and change. Okay, so change is definitely afoot, and it's a change that is necessary for you. It's been divine timing that's happening. You've got people around you that can actually support you in that change. There might be some contacts, friends of a friend, networking situation here, which is going to assist you with solidifying your next step. So if you have any gatherings coming up, any kind of functions that you have been invited to, I would encourage you to attend those, because I can see here with the friends and colleagues in this gathering, these times are going to be quite instrumental in terms of making new contacts, even opportunities coming your way that is going to support you in this change that you're wanting to make in terms of your career or creative project. Okay, so very good. And with this 4 of Wands here straight underneath the friends and colleagues, that is about ensuring that you're mixing and mingling with others, celebrating. It does point to a happy ending here, that you are moving forward. There's the 4 Wands here, which does speak to some stability as well. Not only that, but as a twofold kind of interpretation here, I'm looking at it being under the friends and colleagues. This is about your success coming through your interactions with others, your networking with others, connecting with friends of a friend or friends of colleagues or something in that here along those lines. Okay, because it looks like you are certainly ready to venture out into the big wide world out there and create something for yourself. I'm going this way, but they're all speaking very nicely together. And you're willing to put in the work with these 8 of Pentacles. You've done it before, you can do it again. Okay, you want to put in the effort now towards something that is going to be that new start for you, that new potential to create that world for yourself that leads to even more happiness and abundance and joy. So this is really, really good. Fantastic. That's so positive, group 3. Wow, that's excellent. All right, so why don't we move on to personal relationships. I'm going to turn these cards over. This will give an indication as to your challenge. In regards to personal relationships, you've got earth, element and stability, and a consciousness of lack in reverse. And then we have moon and soul and true love in reverse. And that is your supporting energies. So let's go ahead and turn over these tarot cards. Let's do it that way, shall we? Okay, well, that should be this way. Oh, the world. Great, that way. Ace of Pentacles, the world, and the Fool. Wow, new beginnings for certain here with your relationships. Group 3, that is so wonderful, so encouraging. Look, you've got the end of a cycle here with the world, and then you've got the beginning of a new one. And then on top of that, you've got Ace of Pentacles. This is really supreme energies here supporting you moving forward. Absolutely wonderful. What are the chances of these? Wow, that is really, really great. It's like, I don't want to look at these. These are just like taking my focus here, and that's support for you big time. It is indicating the end of the old and moving forward into the new, and you've been given an opportunity to do so. So it looks like the reading is kind of blending in with each other in terms of the transformation and the ends here, and new beginnings for you. So that's really wonderful. So you've got earth element stability and consciousness of lack in reverse. So in reverse, this card is really good. It means you're coming out of a sense of restriction, a sense of negativity. But given that that's in the challenge position, I'm getting a sense here that you need to hold on to that movement forward, not onto the consciousness of lack, but where you're at now, where you're moving out of those restrictions, those negativities, a sense of loss, or just the whatever it is that you are now taking control over in terms of your outlook. You're having a more positive outlook. You need to make sure, Group 3, that you continue along that path. All right, we don't want you to slip back into old patterns that don't serve you. All right, now the earth element and stability as your challenge card. Okay, just like how the earth is very solid, we want you in this sense, as it is in the challenge position, I'm sensing there's a call here for you to be more lighthearted, more carefree. Just like with this, friends and colleagues here with your creative projects and career, this is about, breaking the mold, not necessarily participating in things that you would normally do. Obviously, it has to be still enjoyable for you, but it's about moving into areas that are not that tried and true pattern for you. It's about breaking the mold and venturing into new areas, and maybe, because this is to do with relationships, when you are viewing a potential partner, then maybe look past what you would normally look at when it comes to a significant other. Okay? Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, and especially with the world there, it's the end of what you used to do. It's the end of how you used to do relationships, how you used to participate in relationships, show up in relationships, the kind of relationships that you were engaging in before. It's a time of renewal, stepping out into the world, not forgetting the lessons that you've learned, because you need that. That is allowing you to step out anew, but with so much more confidence. All right, so we don't want you to forget the lessons, but in those lessons there's a recognition that we need to try something new. All right, and so you've got in support here, supportive energies, you've got true love in reverse, and you've got the moon soul. Yeah, I'm excited to see that here with the earth element and stability in the challenge position and the moon and soul card in your support position. Yeah, this is about the hidden. This is about the unknown. This is about progressing in a way that's going to be very expansive for you. All right, really connecting in ways that you've not done before. Oh, wow, I love that. And in order to do that, I'm really sensing here then the way that you're going to be able to support yourself in connecting with others in a more true and more soulful manner. It's about knowing yourself more. Okay, really come to terms with what it is that you are wanting in a relationship, this true love. See, it's about having an understanding of what you want in a love connection, what it is that you want to bring to a love relationship, and what it is that you're expecting from that significant other in terms of what they bring to a relationship, and having that truth, that awareness of what it is that is true for you now. And that's because, you've come a long way, so you've got a lot to offer in terms of love, so you want that reciprocated. This is really fabulous. Such a wonderful spread for you, Group 3. So happy for you. Okay, last cards. Why don't we turn over this Sacred Forest card? Strength, Ancient Oak, Spirit, and Imagine. Oh my gosh, how wonderful. Yes, look, so you've got strength here. I mean, you don't go through this Pluto transformation without developing that inner strength, fortitude, and you have that. You certainly have that. So now it's about imagining what's possible. Just like when you're looking out in the world, at the world with this Two of Wands here, and you're assessing what's possible for you, this is where the Imagine card comes in. So this is supporting you in new beginnings. It's supporting you in moving forward with the strength that you've gained and all the lessons and all the experiences that you've had previously. And now it's about opening yourself up to the possibilities, like with the Fool here and new beginnings. Because you've done the work, you've completed the cycle, you've been given an opportunity here with the Ace of Pentacles here. And so now it's about taking hold of that and making it work for you. Fantastic. My goodness, congratulations, Group 3. That was a really wonderful, wonderful spread and compilation of messages for you today. So if you have found this helpful, consider liking and subscribing. Take care of yourselves, be safe and well, and I'll look forward to connecting with you again in another reading.